Hello, white people. Earlier this morning, a video popped up in my YouTube feed about doublespeak. You know, doublespeak from 1984. And it was on a YouTube channel, I believe, called File Archives. I don't remember exactly the name of the channel, but I'll put a link in the comment section after I post this video. Basically, the video was state-run TV, public television, and one guy was interviewing some university professor about his book called Doublespeak. Well, come on, you watch it and you're like, okay, you can see that the guy or the author, he's being deceptive. Because when people can talk, okay, if you don't know this, but if people can talk freely without going, or stopping or correcting themselves or whatever, because this is about my 800th time trying to record this video, they're reading a script or they're practiced. So when you're listening to me say this, I've practiced what I'm going to say so that it comes out at least coherently, I'm hoping. So anyway, I can tell this guy is being deceptive, but because back at that time, society was still very high integrity and the bottom dredges of society were starting to have access to us, and mainstream society was noticing it, and mainstream society didn't like it. So what they do is they're trying to run interference. Because people of high integrity, we're experienced now at being bombarded by deception, but people of high integrity are not aware that they're being deceived because they expect everybody to be of high integrity. They project their integrity and expect it to come back to them, and that's not the case when you're dealing with people who have zero integrity. It's heartbreaking to see it. You know, at the place I work, this one lady, she makes me absolutely nuts. One time she came in and she goes, Putin is trying to recreate the Soviet Union. Oh my God, shut up. That's the TV set. There's no way he's doing that. Did you bother to take the time to investigate it? Of course you didn't, because you believe the TV set. My neighbor, she's in her 90s. When I was living in Washington, I told her that CNN lies, and she goes, but I thought only Fox News lied. And she sounded really defeated. I'm like, no, honey, they all lie. But she couldn't wrap her brain around it, because if you're a person of high integrity and you're used to high integrity society, people being deceptive and dishonest, it's hard to wrap your brain around. And then we have, okay, and so how did the lower dredges of society, or the dredges of society, have access to us in the first place? Well, you know, we've got welfare programs, we've got easy credit, diversity quotas, affirmative action. So when I was a kid growing up, the bottom dredges of society did not have access to me because I was part of mainstream American society. I had no idea what the dredges of society was doing. And even at the beginning of the internet, people of the lower parts of society didn't have access because they didn't have that extra money to pay for internet access. It wasn't until easy credit really became common, and people with no credit score could get free money or borrow money at, like 28% interest, that had access to us. And also, people of low integrity or zero integrity didn't buy cars, they didn't buy houses, they were restricted to slums, and not anymore. So, let's see, don't even remember what year this was, but my baby sister, she said to me, she goes, I see people and they look normal, and then they open their mouths and talk, or I watch them eat and they talk, their language is terrible, and they don't even know how to use utensils, because, back when I was a kid, I grew up in the country in Southwest Washington, in North County, and everybody calls us hillbillies, and my mother was very insistent that we were not going to grow up to be hillbillies. Well, sorry, Mom, too late. But we would get stabbed at the dinner table. My dad would stab us with his fork if we put our elbow on the table, if we used our silverware improperly. And I don't know if this was mainstream society, if every parent was doing that. That was just going on in my household. But my sister started noticing that people just didn't know how to behave. They didn't know how to behave in like normal, what we considered to be normal situations. And you didn't see, everybody's all just rainbow and happy, and mental health problems. That's the norm. You're cool if you have a mental health problem, or, well, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I'm looking on the internet to see if I could find something interesting about integrity. And I came across this really short article by this African guy, which shocked me. We all know that the West was built by integrity. But this article is pretty good. Let's see. Societies build strong economic value where there is integrity. This is an article dated January 15th, 2022, and the website is called myjoyonline.com. The founder and president of Ashesi University has reiterated the need to deepen the culture of ethics in Ghanaian society. I hate to tell this guy, but it's genetic. Integrity is genetic. Speaking on Joy News' news file on Saturday, Dr. Patrick Awuah stated that societies build strong economic value where there is integrity. He explained that in an environment where people have integrity, they can promote developmental projects compared to societies that lack integrity. Let's imagine two societies. One society where everybody cheats, everybody lies, everybody is dishonest, and another society where everybody is honest and diligent. In a society where everybody cheats, parents cannot trust their children, children cannot trust their parents, people cannot trust each other to do business. It will be very difficult in such a society to get together and build anything of substance because everybody would cheat. So that's how you have the third world, because everybody cheats, lies, steals. In the other society where everybody is honest, I like how I don't know why this moves. With high integrity and high trust, in such a society, you don't even need to have a contract in order to get together to do things, because handshake agreements are still legal binding contracts in this country, I think. At least last I checked it was. In such a society, people can build government. They can build schools, hospitals, businesses. They can create infrastructure, he said. He cited Haiti and Singapore to support his argument. According to him, although the first island, Haiti, gained independence way back in 1804, the country has not been able to build a high-integrity, high-trust society. Why is that? Because it's genetics. He said there is a high level of corruption with many government dysfunctions resulting in a low per capita income of $1,900 a year. But Singapore, on the other hand, who attained independence a little late in 1959 and was able to build a high integrity and high trust society, has a per capita income of $6,400 per year as compared to Haiti. I think that Singapore is a really bad example. Singapore is very authoritarian, and the authoritarians are very strict on the rules. It doesn't have anything to do with integrity. Based on the above comparison, Mr. Awuah concluded that a tremendous economic value can be built in a country where integrity and trust is built. So this is the end of the article, and I think that's a pretty good explanation. Let me see. I'll give you one more example here of how society has degraded. Back when my son was a student in, what year? I think he was in high school then. And he was having some issues. And I asked, it was because he got the flu or whatever, and he was out of school for 6 weeks. And the teacher never bothered to call me and let me know that he was having trouble catching up. And I asked her, and she said, well, the parents just don't care. Really? The parents don't care? You didn't even try to find out if I cared or not. No, she didn't care. See, that's what she was projecting, that she didn't care. She didn't want to deal with it. She didn't want to do it. All right, white people, that's the damage for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.